Wilfried Zaha has barely got a mention in any player of the season polls, but nobody has been more important to their club this year. Crystal Palace were a sinking ship when they lost their first 7 Premier League games without scoring a goal, but they have had 2 saviours. One is boss Roy Hodgson, who has used all his experience to steer them towards safety, just as he did with Fulham 10 years ago. And the other is Zaha, who has attracted more than his fair share of diving controversies. Zaha has been the difference between survival and relegation for Palace. Getty Images Europe. When we talk about players being the biggest single influence on their teams, it's easy to think of Mo Salah at Liverpool, Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City, and Harry Kane at Tottenham. But, along with Salah, none has been more influential than Zaha. Without him, Palace would have sunk long ago. Look at the stats and judge for yourselves. There's no doubting Salah's brilliance for Liverpool, Reuters, nor De Bruyne's influence at City, Reuters, but where would Palace be without Zaha? Action Images via Reuters. In his absence, they have not won a single point in 9 games and have scored only 3 goals. With Zaha, it's 35 points from 26 games. He has contributed 7 goals, all from open play, 2 assists and produced 213 dribbles, more than anyone in the Premier League. Watford forward Roy Hodgson remains way out in front as the most fouled player in the division, but Zaha gets kicked every week. If he had been fit the whole season, he would have been up there with the Brazilian winger for bruises collected in his team's cause. People point out that Zaha has been booked 4 times for simulation, more than any other player, since the start of the 2015-16 season. But can you point to a single incident where he has dived over thin air? I can't think of one occasion when you can accuse him outright of cheating. Zaha was booked for simulation at Watford, Reuters, but it was hardly that from the Palace winger, Getty Images. Yes, when Zaha feels he has been fouled, he looks as if he is going to burst into tears, but it hurts when you are kicked on the shin or you get your ankle wrapped. And, yes, there have been cases when he has gone down in the box when perhaps staying on his feet would have been easy. I was not sure about the penalty he won against Manchester City on New Year's Eve, for example, but I had every sympathy for him at Watford last weekend. When he stumbled over in the first half, not many thought it was a penalty, although Christian Cabazal had a handful of his shirt. But the second incident, when he was booked for diving, was a foul by Adrian Mariappa and certainly wasn't simulation. Few players take as many kicks as Zaha. 2018 Getty Images. I can understand Zaha's frustration when he talks of an agenda against him. I wouldn't know about that, but I will say that fouls in the box have to be judged on the merits of each challenge, not the reputations of the players involved. He is not the first player to suffer this kind of attention, but Zaha's issues with referees and gravity remind me of Gareth Bale's final season at Tottenham Hotspur. When you are sprinting at full tilt, as Zaha often does when he makes those surging runs into the box, it doesn't take much contact to throw you off balance and make you go down. Zaha against Liverpool in March. PA. If someone looks as if they are going to punch you in the face, the natural reaction is to flinch. By the same token, if you are a winger and you fear you are about to get wiped out by a defender in a 50-50 challenge, it's human nature to try to ride the tackle instead of risking serious injury. It is unfair when players who bring that flair and excitement to the game are punished for self-preservation. It makes me laugh when some pundits take the moral high ground about players falling theatrically in the box when they weren't averse to doing it themselves. Zaha is now a totally different player to the kid who failed to adapt at Old Trafford. Getty. He's back where he's loved and is doing the business. Reuters. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Spurs. Who can catch Man City? Zaha has not even won the most penalties for his team this season. Raheem Sterling has won 6 to the Ivory Coast wingers 4, which is as many as Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton, but I don't hear anyone calling out Calvert-Lewin, and rightly so. 5 years ago, when he signed for Manchester United as a 20-year-old, by his own admission Zaha wasn't mature enough to play for a top 4 club. But his performances for Palace this season speak for themselves and, at 25, I believe he is now ready to step up. If Tottenham, Chelsea or Arsenal came calling for Zaha this summer, he would fit any of them like a hand in glove. It's gone from the boy accused of crying wolf to a big club crying out for Wilf.